Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door into the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either way. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative, not apprehensive, but possible both at the same time, smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, while the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in school grounds or in the dorms. Yuko, are you there? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Whoa. Something from under the counter thuds against it, following a quiet wail. Oh. Well, hey. How are you? The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hey Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual as she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. No, it's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped when I was looking for it. You both came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. No, it's okay. It's okay sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yeah, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles the papers around to the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses. Replete. Cool, freckles and very troubled look. She seems to fit in the library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? A message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but... Amidst her celebrations, partially from managing the change of topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes in the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? Gomenasai, gomenasai! The way she can so quickly shift between moves is a little unsettling. He's with me. Yuko, this is Hisao. And a student. Hisao, this is Yuko. The student librarian. I mean the school librarian. Or both. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right? Yeah, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books from Brill for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please Lily, I can't. I don't know what he would be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How's it any responsibility at all? I don't get, but her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. So there are lots of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that popped into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to. Not exactly relaxed, but at least less lightly intense. Well, I think about a third or fourth Yamuku's library either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome, and they waste so much. I wish I could just quit this job. A very awkward silence follows the revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if he doesn't keep talking to me. Very well, meanwhile, Yuko, I might have those books if it's alright with you. So they're audiobooks, right? Oh, are there like books that, you know, like blind people have those little like dots that they like slide their finger over and they can read? Is that what the books are? 'Cause that'd be pretty cool. My first impression was right, the library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it sounds good. In a few moments I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for a choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but what is the library? It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lily and snuck in with us here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study and personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has odd students sitting at the desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting in the several beanbags. It's this girl. I knew I was going to meet you eventually. Now was that time. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scarily up at me, underneath her fringe. She is frightened. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bags, I can see the part of her face, only a third of it, not half. It's pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet with her own eyes. For a second I am shocked, and I divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. Oh. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Hey, yeah. I'm gonna do this. This will just sound like I'm trying to cover it up, but I didn't mean to startle her. So I don't mean to startle you, girl, but hi. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Oh, it's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. So, sorry again for startling you. I miss out. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. She knows already? I must be like, oh yeah, I did sort of introduce myself to the entire class, right? Yeah. You're in the same class. The speech is stilted and so quiet it's barely audible even to the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name, just to have something to say. Really, it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like I'm an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, And here I'm being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check the books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs, a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and scars it's hiding. And after a while, I realize that she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in the life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. Oh! She stands up forcibly from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I gotta do something! Oh no! What happens? Oh dear. Oh man. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. And by the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had, scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuki, would you excuse me? I better try to find her. How would you find... Oh dear. You're blind. How would you be able to, search for me? If she's, walking around the corner, around the corner of, a hallway, you wouldn't be able to see her. You'd just be, wandering aimlessly until you, scream her name and she replies or something, right? You'd be able to hide from her just by, literally sitting in a corner and not saying a word. It's weird. I'm gonna hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I have to explain it to you some other time. Alright, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever be able to get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I was just looking for some books and then she got it and fit and ran off. Most if anything I could think of was that I might have looked at her general direction a few times. Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. And she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder just how she is, I think. Yuka doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe it's just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in my room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's only an elephant if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily.